I think it's important that I set the context by sharing with you the inspiration for this book series, The Benefits Barometers. Alexander Forbes as an organization is extremely focused on the impact it has on society. And so we frame our orientation around a statement of higher purpose. And what that means is that we exist to have positive impact on the lives of people. And those people would include our clients, it would include the people who work for us, it would include the communities where we are located, and then it would include the people who invest in us, who trust us with their money. And so in the context of the work we do, we're an employee benefits and an investment consulting firm. That is our expertise. The choice we have is how we put that expertise to use and to what purpose it can serve as a benefit to society. We find that in South Africa we have a very disconnected system. We find government who creates policies around retirement fund and social reform often competes against the interest of trade unions, who looks at the narrow interest of members and necessarily the short-term impact, for example, of the implication for mandatory contribution to long-term saving schemes or mandatory preservation when you leave your employ. In South Africa, sadly, many people resign from their jobs to get access to that money. And while on the one hand you can stand on your high horse and criticize that, but at the same time, that is the survival mechanism for many families, just to feed themselves and their family, to put their kids through school. And so you have this tension between the desire of the state to increase the savings culture and necessarily improve the lot of individuals when they retire, competing with the immediate needs of people just to survive. So how do we bring this conversation to a level of common interest as opposed to opposing interests? What about the role of employers? Employers are not necessarily only paternalistic when they provide for the benefit or the well-being of their employees. They, in fact, create an employer value proposition. They benefit by having workers who are taken care of. They improve their engagement, they improve productivity. So it is hugely important that employers understand that there are significant stakeholders in this partnership. And then very importantly, the individual himself or herself. This cannot only be the responsibility of the employer or of the state. Every one of us must understand that we need to empower ourselves to take care and ultimately improve our financial well-being. And so if I put these three things together, firstly, the importance of having growth that includes everyone. Secondly, the importance of creating a social protection system that understands who are the different components and the different contributors towards creating ultimately a social fiber that gives human dignity and also protection. And then lastly, the partnership where each stakeholder understands their roles and responsibility. So it is within that context that we continue to invite those stakeholders to the table to engage with us. We probably in this process create more questions than answers. The new book that we are launching, this edition, Benefits Barometer 2014, addresses specifically two issues. One, it addresses the issue of how employee benefit schemes impact on the overall well-being of social protection and inclusive growth. And secondly, how through a well-designed employer-based benefit scheme an individual's life can be transformed. And so we are happy that we continue to walk this journey. We're honoring our commitment to make a contribution towards the higher purpose, the common interest, towards creating a better life for every single South African. And this book is another contribution along that journey. By no means the last, and certainly not the solution to all of our challenges, but certainly a positive step. And we would like to use the book as an invitation for all stakeholders to see this as our collective responsibility and challenge, and to walk the path. And in fact, to respond to what I consider to be the legitimate expectations of every single South Africa, to live a life that has high quality, to leave a legacy for our children that we can all be proud of.